So hi, I'm Shwe. Today I'm going to talk about bias variance trade-off in machine learning. So whenever somebody builds a machine learning model, whether it's in research or a business or he's working on an NLP problem or a computer vision problem or even a simple classification problem or a regression problem, he always one has to always make sure that they are able to conquer this bias variance trade-off. So let us understand the entire process, the entire theory behind this. And so let us start with bias. So what is actually bias? So bias is a simplifying assumption made by a model to make the target function easier to learn. So I will tell you by a scenario. Suppose you have a data set and it's basically a regression problem, and you have your target variable as price, and one of the instance for that price is 100, and the model gave you prediction for that instance around 80. Another model gave you prediction around 101. Another model gave you prediction around 90. So you can clearly say that the model which gave prediction around 80, it was 20 away from the original value. So basically we can quantify it. We can basically quantify the error here. So we can always say that okay, the prediction is far or away from the target. So that is actually bias. Bias is a quantify. Bias basically quantifies your error, that okay, how much far it is, how much near it is. So that is basically high bias and low bias. So if your model gave 80, it would be high bias, and model gave around 101 or 99, 90, it is quite close to the target value, so the model has low bias. So let us talk about variance. So what is variance actually? So variance is the amount that the estimate or target function will change if different training data was used. So let me explain you with an example. So you have a data set which has 1,000 instances. Now you wanted to kind of build your model and test your accuracy. So of course, for any machine learning problem, you first divide your data set into two parts: training data and testing data. So what you did, you picked 800 instance as your training data and remaining 200 as your testing data. So what you did, you picked first 800 instances and treated them as training data, and remaining 200, that means the last 200 data, as your testing data. Now you got an accuracy around 95%. Now again you trained your model with 800 instances, but you have selected first 400 and last 400 as your training data, and from 400 to 600 as your testing data, and you got your accuracy around 75%. So you can see that there was a slight change in your training data and your model performed really bad. So that is what is variance. If there is a dramatic change in your accuracy when you change your data, when you change your training data, or when you change kind of testing data, then the model has high variance. And like you can see over here that low variance is basically there is a small changes in your accuracy with change in your training data set. Now there are two important terminologies which revolves around this bias and variance trade-off. So let us talk about underfitting. So first of all, let us look at this graph. So you can clearly see that the left side, the line is not able to overlap all the data points over here. It's just a simple straight line which is kind of satisfying nearly less than 30% of data points over here. So like you can see over here that these points are not able to get classified by this line. So we are basically the line cannot fit all these data points. It happened because maybe the model was trained on a less amount of data, and maybe this model is very simple, like you have used something called linear regression or logistic regression, and suppose you have data, you have your features which have a lot of non-linearity, and of course these simple models cannot capture those patterns. They cannot capture the non-linearity of the data. So in that case, you are sure that okay, your model is not going to perform better. So it is going to have high bias, but it is going to have low variance because it is quite simple, and you know that you cannot get accuracy more than 60% or more than 70%. Maybe if you change something in your data, but still the performance will remain the same because your model is quite simple. It's something like linear regression. Your data is non-linear, so you cannot do anything about it whether you change your training data, because your performance will be bad, but it will be constant. It will be around 60 to 65. Now if I talk about overfitting, and overfitting, of course, something opposite to underfitting. So overfitting happens when our model captures the noise along with the underlying pattern in data. So you can see the last graph over here, the right side, the extreme right side. Now you can see kind of all the points have been satisfied by the line, by the model. So it's like it is almost satisfying the noise in this. Like we have trained our model a lot over this noisy data set, and these models are quite complex, and they are kind of prone to overfitting. So overfitting is something where you are going to have low bias, but you are going to have high variance, because it will be the similar case when you kind of change your data set, your training data set, and your model performance will dramatically differs when it is evaluated on your test data, because it has learned the noise in your data. So we are not sure about which part of our training data has a noise, has a non-linearity. Maybe you have trained your model for the first 800 instance, and your 600 to, I would say, 400 to 700 has some non-linearity in nature. Okay, and your model was trained on that data, and the model was able to capture those noise, learn those noise, but the testing data was quite different. Maybe your instance, of course, around 800 to 1000, which is your testing data, which is quite different. The nature of data is quite different as it was in training data. So, and of course your model was so habituated by the training data that it cannot capture something new in your testing data. So that's where overfitting actually happens. Now what is actually bias variance trade-off? So now we know about what is bias, what is variance, what is underfitting, what is overfitting. And so let's sum it up. So if our model is too simple, like we can see in the case of underfitting, and have few parameters, then it is going to have high bias and low variance, a case of underfitting. On the other hand, if a model has a lot of parameters, like it's kind of very complex, it is going to have high variance and low bias, because your model performance can get affected anytime if there is a slight change in your training data. So we need to find a good balance or right balance without overfitting and underfitting data. So anybody building machine learning model, this is the primary step, that you need to make sure that you do not require to get fooled by your model performance on the training data. You need to always find a sweet spot. Now, so there is no escaping between bias and variance in machine learning, that is clear. Increasing the bias will decrease the variance. Like if you are making your model quite simple, like it's initially your model is quite complex and it is overfitting the data. Now you want to make it like simple, but you cannot make it too simple that it will increase the bias and decrease the variance. Like it will make your accuracy around 70% and your model is performing at 70%, but that is also not going to be useful, because of course you have make sure that the model gave you result something X around your test data or around your training data, same result you are going to get in testing data, but at what cost? You're losing a lot of accuracy. So that should not happen. Similarly, we cannot kind of increase the variance, which will decrease the bias. So we cannot kind of make it more and more complex so that we are decreasing the bias in the training data, but for the testing data the performance completely changes dramatically. So we cannot do that. So let me tell you by my final example, which will give you an overview around this entire bias variance trade-off, is that you can see so I have the same graph over here, all three graphs over here. And now, okay, I'm not talking about the second graph, so I'll come into that. So you can see the model one. So you have a training error around 25%, even testing error is around 26%. So you can see what I was talking about, that your model performed really bad and in your training data. That means it is quite simple, so it will kind of give the same kind of error around testing error, because you have not made it too complex model, and it is kind of giving you the same kind of result, testing error, but it is having high bias and low variance. Now you can see at model 3 the overfitting case, where you have training error at 1%, like basically it's 99% accuracy. That means your model is too complex, it has learned the entire noise and underlying pattern in your training data. But in the testing data, when the data is quite different from your trained data, the model was not able to capture those scenarios, and you can see that you have a case of low bias and high variance, which is an overfitting case. Now we want a sweet spot. So the sweet spot is basically model 2, where you have your training error as 10% and even your testing error at 10%, and you have a low bias and low variance. So of course, in any problem, of course your goal is to get around 96 to 97 or 98%, but if you're having this kind of result, okay, your training error is 90, testing error is 90, you are good to go. You have done your first step successfully. You have made sure that you are not facing any overfitting or underfitting problem. Okay, so that was it is. Thank you so much.